Hello friends, how are you doing? And I hope you all are doing good and fine. So today, we are taking up a very basic chapter for the NEET pattern exercise, the living world. Okay, it's just starting, yes, this chapter will incorporate the other, some the concepts of the different chapter. So let us start with the first question. This will be basically a mixed question from all the, from all the units. Which one of the following scientists' name is correctly matched with the theory put forth by him? Yes. Weizmann theory of continuity of germ plasm, absolutely perfect. This is the correct answer. Weizmann gave the theory of continuity of germ plasm. What did Louis Pasteur give? Yes, the Pasteur theory. He gave the germ theory of the disease. So Louis Pasteur, we can write this as the germ theory of disease. Germ theory of disease. Okay, Louis Pasteur gave the germ theory of disease. Then let us talk about the D. Rice, who gave the theory of mutation or the mutational theory. Right, the mutational theory. And then we will talk about the Mendel, who gave the laws of inheritance, which we all know. He worked on the garden pea plant, the Pisum sativum. He gave the laws of inheritance. Right. So De Rice gave the mutational theory and Mendel gave the laws of inheritance. Right. We move on to the next question now. And what will we see in the next question? Right. Carbohydrates, the most abundant biomolecule on earth, are produced by all bacteria, fungi, and the algae. Definitely, all bacteria do not they are not photoautotrophs. So basically, what they're trying to tell, carbohydrates are produced by what? We all know that carbohydrates are produced by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, by the process of photosynthesis. Right. Now we will see that by the process of photosynthesis, which perform photosynthesis, it is the green plants. The green plants perform photosynthesis and manufacture the carbohydrate. Green plants manufacture, right, carbohydrate. Manufacture carbohydrate. Apart from the green plants, we will also see that the blue-green algae, the cyanobacteria, they also have the green pigment chlorophyll, and hence will also be responsible for manufacture of this carbohydrate. Yes. So the BGA, the blue-green algae, the cyanobacteria, right. Cyanobacteria. The blue-green algae cyanobacteria also manufacture carbohydrate. Also, we see apart from this, that there is some of the bacteria. Some of the bacteria. So, some of the bacteria, algae and green plants, this is the right option. Right? This is the right option when we say that carbohydrates are the most abundant biomolecule on the earth. Some bacteria, Now Rhodopseudomonas is one of the bacteria, which manufactures food by photosynthesis, and the source of, however, see in the normal process of photosynthesis, what will we see, that oxygen, right, oxygen is liberated and carbon dioxide is involved. Now where is this oxygen coming from? This oxygen is coming from the water, which acts as the hydrogen donor or the proton donor, we can say, and hence, I'm so sorry, okay, in this case we see that water is the main source of oxygen over here in photosynthesis. But in the Rhodopseudomonas, which is a bacteria which is performing photosynthesis, there is no as such a release of oxygen, because there the water is not available as a source, right. So this is the correct option. The carbohydrates, the most abundant biomolecules on earth, will be produced by all those which are having the green pigment chlorophyll, like the green plants, the algae, the blue green algae, cyanobacteria, as well as some bacteria, right. Let us now talk about the next question. Okay, it will take us 5 minutes to read this question, I think. Big questions give you a terror, fear, but big questions are the easiest, let me tell you. Okay, shall we start? Note the time when we are starting, reading the question. Age of fossils in the past was generally determined by the radiocarbon tracer method and other methods involving radioactive elements found in the rocks. More precise methods which were used recently and led to the revision of the evolutionary periods for different age group of the organisms include study of carbohydrates or proteins in fossils. Absolutely wrong. Study of the conditions of the fossilization. What will you get to know from this? It's already fossilized. Electron spin resonance in fossil DNA will be the right answer. What do we do? The concept of luminescence, bioluminescence is applied here. Study of carbohydrate, proteins and rocks, anything, they just wanted to mention options they've written. So what is electron spin resonance? What is happening? The concept of luminescence is applied here, that the electrons are trapped. Okay, the electrons are trapped, and that is actually used in this electron spin resonance in order to know the age of the fossils and all that. So this is the correct answer. Okay. Let us now move on to the next question. According to Perrin, which one of the following was not present in the primitive atmosphere of the earth? Right. Primitive atmosphere of the earth. Primitive atmosphere of the earth was reducing type. Okay, was reducing type. And consisted of what? It consisted of hydrogen, right? It consisted of hydrogen. It consisted of nitrogen, right? It consisted of nitrogen, water vapor, right? The water vapor. You're all dozing, I think, right? The water vapor. Then what? Right. The methane, right? The methane. Then the ammonia. All these were present. Yes, all these were present in abundance in the primitive atmosphere. So all these are, they were reducing type. The thing which was absent was oxygen before, right? Hence oxygen, right? Hence oxygen was missing in the primitive environment, was missing in the primitive environment. So what do we see here? According to Apparent, which of the following is absent or not present? And it is the oxygen. It is the oxygen which is missing, right. Let us move on to the next question. There is no life on moon due to the absence of what? Yes, definitely the answer is water. Water is a very important, okay, water is a very important commodity. Water is a very important thing, you know, there's, and that's why there's no, yes, there is light and temperature on the moon. There is life and temperature on the moon. Now you might say, you know, afterwards, you know, there can be water, but you know, you never know how will you take water. You cannot take tankers over there, okay. So light and temperature are found on the moon. Okay, light and temperature are found in the moon, but there is absence of water. Okay, but there is absence of water. And what will we see? You know, that water is required in, water is an important constituent of all living cells. This is the fifth question we are doing. Water is an important constituent of all living cells. Okay. Also we see, you know, that water is required for the transport of materials, nutrients, you know, for the transport of excretory substances. You know, water is required for temperature regulation, and you know, for maintaining the homeostasis, and so many things, you know, water is required for. So water is required for transport of nutrients within the body, right? For transport of nutrients, right? For transport of nutrients within the body, within the body. For the transport of excretory substances, for the transport of excretory substances, for the transport of excretory substances, and for temperature regulation. Right. What is required for transport of nutrients within the body, the transport of excretory substances, and for the temperature regulation. And hence we say, you know, that is, you know, there is no life on moon because there is no water. Just I showed you there is so much of functions of water. Okay. So now we move on to the next question. First life on earth was. So the first life on earth, you know, it originated in aquatic environment, in water, right? The first life first life on earth originated in the aquatic environment in the aquatic environment right, and they consumed the organic matter. They consumed the organic constituents and hence called as chemoheterotrophs. Okay, chemoheterotrophs. So first life on earth originated in the aquatic environment and they consumed the organic constituents and hence called as the chemoheterotrophs. So the answer would be the chemoheterotrophs, right? Next, what will we see? If there was no carbon dioxide in the Earth atmosphere, the temperature of Earth's surface would be. Now, the carbon dioxide acts as an insulator and does not allow the temperature of the Earth to reduce, right? So it prevents the temperature, it acts as an insulator and prevents the heat from getting escaped from the Earth's environment, right? So we can write this as the carbon dioxide acts as an insulator right. The carbon dioxide acts as an insulator and prevents the heat and prevents the Earth's heat to escape into the environment. Right? So the carbon dioxide acts as an insulator and prevents the Earth's heat to escape into the environment, and hence so if the carbon dioxide is not there, what would happen? The Earth's heat would escape into the environment, and hence we would see that the temperature would be less than the present temperature. Okay, the temperature would be much less than the present temperature. Right. Let us take the next question. The carbon dioxide content by volume in the atmospheric air is about. Right. The carbon dioxide content in the air, the carbon dioxide content in air is 0.0314%. Okay, 0.0314%, and we will see how is this contributed by. The carbon dioxide of the atmosphere is contributed by the it is contributed by the burning of fossil fuels. in fact the incomplete oxidation we can say the burning of, even complete oxidation will give you CO2 plus water, because those will be hydrocarbons mostly, so burning of fossil fuel, right. Then we can talk about it as the automobiles and factories are also contributing. Automobiles and factories, incomplete combustion of the hydrocarbons, right, combustion of hydrocarbons we can say is giving rise to the carbon dioxide. Then respiration, right, respiration also contributes to carbon dioxide. Okay, so these are some of the things, along with this there are so many things which can lead to, or which will increase the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And how is it reduced? The carbon dioxide reduced by green plants, which perform photosynthesis, and we all know that during the process of photosynthesis they will take up carbon dioxide, okay, and they will give out oxygen. So the carbon dioxide content by volume is 0.0314%, right. Let's talk about the next question. Glycogen is a polymer of, right. We all know that glycogen is a polymer of glucose, right. Glycogen is a polymer of glucose, and you'll all see that when there is extra of carbohydrate it gets transformed to glucose, okay, when there is extra glucose in the body, when extra glucose then transferred to glycogen, then transferred to, okay, so when extra glucose is transferred to glycogen by the process of glycogenesis, and what happens then, if the glucose falls short in the body, then that glycogen is converted back into glucose by the process of glycogenolysis. Glycogen is broken back into glucose. Okay, glycogenolysis, the glycogen is broken back into glucose. So yes, glycogen is a polymer of glucose. We move on to the last question. A nucleotide is formed by, right. So first of all we will see that nucleotides, okay, nucleotides are the component or the constituents of nucleic acids, right. Nucleotides are the basic units of nucleic acids, that is DNA and RNA. okay, DNA and RNA. And what we will see, you know, that one nucleotide is composed of what? A nucleoside and a phosphate group, and this nucleoside is further composed of a nitrogenous base and a pentose sugar plus pentose sugar, okay. So the nucleotide is composed of what? Nucleoside plus phosphate, and then we will see the nucleoside consisting of the nitrogenous sugar plus nitrogenous, that is the nitrogenous base, not the sugar, the nitrogenous base plus the pentose sugar. So what will we see here? Purine, pyrimidine and phosphate, no. Purine, sugar and phosphate, no. Nitrogenous base, sugar and phosphate, yes, okay, and pyrimidine, sugar and phosphate, no. So the correct answer for this will be this one, right friends. So here we have come to the end of discussion of this particular, you know, the living world, okay, which was basically a compilation of all the chapters and units. In the next session we will talk about some, you know, different topic questions. The time we meet again, a very goodbye from this side.